So to teach go to your mat, have a towel for the dog and some magic towel or mat. And as they go onto the mat, click and treat. So any targeting of the treat on the mat equals a click and throw the treat on the mat. One way to speed up the process is have your dog throw a treat on the mat, and as they go to the mat, click and treat and feed on the mat. But don't just give one treat, feed them for staying there. So they're kind of glued there. And immediately you want to add a release cue. So, okay, means get off of the mat. Let's try that again. So throw the treat onto the mat, let the dog go, they go get the treat and they get a click, and treats happen on the mat while they're still there. Okay. Good girl. Now I'm going to wait her out, pretend to throw a treat. If they're too smart and they know you haven't really thrown a treat, then go back and practice throwing a treat. Okay. Good girl. So I'm going to pretend to throw a treat on the mat. She goes to look for the treats that were there, and she gets a cooking treat for staying there. Good girl. So now I'm going to try from a different angle. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. Go to your mat. So once you can bet $100 or you're 90% sure that they're going to go to the mat, then you can start adding a cue. Okay. Puppy, go to the mat.
As Kiko is demoing here, you can use the same training method to teach Go in your crate. Either you can start with the crate as a new object, or you can put the mat you've already been working on inside of the crate. As you can see here, Kiko loves this game. Drop on recall using a mat. Call your dog to you with a mat in front of you, and as they get to the mat, ask for down, click and treat, and then release them at some point. Repeat this over and over again until they get it clear in mind that as they reach the mat, they're to lay down on your cue. By building this behavior of reinforcing the down on the mat, you make that area a reinforcing place to be rather than just reaching you. So you get a dog that doesn't creep forward but stops exactly in place when you ask for the down. So practice calling your dog to you and having them stop on the mat. Once they've mastered that, move 2 inches back from the mat and ask for the down on the mat. Gradually, by approximation, get further and further away from the mat and you'll have a drop on recall. Once the dog is great at this, then practice 20 times and then remove the mat, ask for the down. If they don't down, then no click. You can also practice sending your dog out to the mat to do behaviors at a distance. So go out and drop, or go out and sit, or go out and stand. The mat is very useful. Then remove the mat and practice without the mat. Drop at heel using a mat. Basically, it's the same method as drop on recall, except this time you're walking with your dog at your side, and as you reach the mat, you ask for a down. Click and treat, and then release them. So practice that over and over again, and once they've really got it down, the mat becomes a reinforcing place to lay down. Stop, ask them to down, take a step, click and treat them for remaining. Feed the dog on the mat. You want that place that they have to stop to be the most reinforcing place to be rather than at your side. So it's in their best interest to stay where they are rather than to continue walking at your side. So once you get to the mat, get them to drop and then continue walking. So once they've really got it down, remove the mat, and in the same place that the mat used to be, ask for the down, click and treat, feed them into the position, and keep walking. And then the eventual step is ask for the down, and then release them and reinforce them at your side. But every once in a while in your training, you want to reinforce them in that position. You can also teach stand or sit as you continue walking. I think of these things as tricks, but I mainly want to show people that you don't need to use punishment to teach obedience.
Good job.